Hey everybody, it's me, Jessica. If you don't know who I am, I'm the owner of LNF Boutique. And if you don't know what LNF Boutique is, then that means you started following from out of nowhere. And I'm happy you're here. So I decided to start a YouTube channel. And it's funny to me because it just seems random. But we're going to start this YouTube channel. Um, I just want to talk to y'all about the where LNF came from first. But before I tell you that, I want to tell you the reasons why I started the YouTube channel. I just wanted to have a place where I could just like kind of talk to y'all, just super candid, casual, and then also just have somewhere where I can just like post like behind the scenes things and just like show unpack. Y'all can unpackage some of the new arrivals with me, and of course I'll post some of the pieces that will be launching every month here. But other than that, I just wanted to be very casual and just somewhere where I can just be, I don't know, relax and just talk about the business and things that are going on. We have like a lot of markets coming up, and I would love for y'all to see, what goes on at these markets and stuff, so y'all can come out. Like I know we have Malbus Market next weekend. We have the third week of February we're going to be in Birmingham, and then we're going to be back in Mobile, which you'll understand why I say back in Mobile in a second. But anyway, back in Mobile, and then I think like in March we're gonna try to do Festival of Flowers, God willing. But anyway, let me tell you about LNF. Well, I actually used to work at a boutique. It used to be in the mall in Mobile, and I just really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. I just liked, the merchandising part of it, I guess, and then also just talking to customers and stuff, and just, regulars coming in and, being able to talk to them and stuff. And so it kind of fueled my interest in starting a boutique because I always liked fashion. But I mean, sometimes, if you don't really know the fashion industry, you will only think that it's just designers and models and that's it. And like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times, family members or something like that, or, just older, I don't know, they'll be like, what about your designs, and saying stuff like, I'm like, I didn't design these clothes. I have a boutique. I buy the clothes and then I sell them, but they always think somebody designed stuff. But anyway, so I went to school and I wanted to major in business, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think I learned anything. I think it was just, I don't know. I don't think I learned anything. But after that, I graduated, and then I was like, okay, let's do this boutique. And then I actually went to the Small Business Administration with my idea for it, and when I say this dude kind of like rolled his eyes at me and was like, I mean, so what's going to be different about this one? Like, that's how he was. And then he was just like, I mean, I've met so many people trying to start a boutique, and like, listen, now that I'm like, I guess older, I don't want to say older, but I've like matured in the business. I understand that because there are a lot of boutiques and some of them kind of be selling the same stuff sometimes. And I just be like, that's a lot of the same here. But anyway, so I understood where he was coming from. Like, now that I've matured and thought about it more and not just been like, I don't know. But anyway, so I told him what my idea was, and it was I guess I want to say that it was going to be more of like a quirky type style, not super colorful, but like prints and like mixing prints and patterns and stuff like that. And I told him that, but I don't think he was truly understanding what I was talking about. And so he like pulled up another boutique and was just like, see, this is how just compare me to these people that have been in business for like, 2 or 3 years or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. And I left that meeting feeling so discouraged and just like, I mean, do I not do it? Or so moving forward, I do feel like I needed that experience so that I knew that I needed something unique and not the same things as everyone else is selling, which is nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. but I know my mind, and I know that I try my best to like try to be different in a way, I guess. So I felt like God knew what he was doing when that he let that happen, me get discouraged for a little bit. So fast forward, I worked at Dillard's, ended up leaving there, started doing merchandising, stopped doing that, started somewhat taking pictures for some boutiques every now and then, just to like, be able to pay some bills, I guess. And then after that, I started helping with a ministry called Whatever Ministry. And they had a boutique for theirs, just to like, help with, you know, money for the ministry. And so I would help with that, and everything was like, everything was fine. And then, but there was a moment where I was starting to feel like I want to do my own thing. Like I really want my own shop still. My mom was constantly asking me like, when are you gonna start a boutique? When are you gonna start a boutique? And I'm like, I made every excuse in the book. And I'm here to tell y'all, if it's something that God's laid on your heart and you're just making every excuse not to do it, I don't have the right camera, or I need to wait until I'm this size, or I need to wait until I do that, or whatever. Like, just start. Just start. And because I wish I would have started earlier, but I was just too scared. That man just really freaked me out. And I was like, okay, well, let me not do it then. So she was always asking me, and I was like, I was making every excuse. But when I started doing 4-8 for the ministry, that passion came right back. And I was like, because for me, it's not about like, oh, I love clothes. That's not what it's about for me. Like, I love putting outfits together and doing all these things. Also, during this time, I was getting, uh, what's it called when you get certified? There we go. I was getting certified to be a personal stylist. So I just love like putting things together and learning like, new ways to put things together and stuff. Most of it comes naturally, but when I see someone else do something, I'm like, oh, would have never thought of that. So I love doing all that kind of stuff. But there was one time I remember it like it was yesterday. Like every time, like when I close my eyes, I think about this moment, I'm just like, I remember it. I just remember it. And I just remember that 4-8, we were setting up 4-8 at one of our conferences, or I think that's what they call it, a conference. Anyway, but it was called Sparkle, and it was at the fairgrounds. And I just remember I was working the booth, and just talking to people and stuff. But there was a moment where I just stopped and looked around, and you would have thought that it was just silence around me, because I looked around and there was plenty of people there, but you could have felt like almost like a sense of peace in that moment where there was a lot going on around me. And I looked around and I looked at 4-8, and I just was like, it's like I felt like this might be the end of this chapter for me, because I felt like it was time for me to step out and do my own thing with LNF. So during this time, I was actually working with my dad, and which, that's just something that I had to do to get, to like pay bills and stuff. But I just was I didn't mind working there. I just felt like that feeling when you just know you're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be doing something with your gifts and talents that God's gave you, and you're just kind of doing whatever it takes to just get through life. But there was one day that we were supposed to be at work at 8, but he told me I didn't have to be there until 9 or something like that. And so from that moment when I was at that Sparkle event, all the way until this moment, I have been working on the details of LNF and just working on it. And so I made a logo, and I was like, okay, what kind of style? Sorry, this is being a process. Anyway, so went and got my business license, and just started the process, and talked to my friend about it. And I was like, you know what? Went ahead and got my business license. She was so proud of me. And then I was like, now I just have to have money for inventory. And the first person to invest in my inventory was my friend Sabrina. And I truly appreciate that. So fast forward to now, LNF was started back in 2018. We'll be in business 6 years on April. So we're going to be doing a celebration for that. Hopefully we'll be able to put some details over here. At first we started off as, like I said before, I wanted something kind of more like work appropriate type clothing, but then 2020 hit and I had to just, pivot and do something else. So I ended up doing more of like just cozy loungewear type things and just pieces that you can just kind of throw on to go run errands. And then it slowly became something where it was more about the fabrics and not so much like, what the style of the clothing is. This shop is a lot of linen and a lot of cotton, and we do have some pieces that are like mixed, fabrics, but for the most part we try to keep it at linen and cotton. We're based in Mobile. Everything's online. We mostly do markets on the weekends so that we can kind of, people can kind of shop in person and touch things and all that stuff, because that's how I am. I like to touch things, make sure it's something I want on my body. But yeah, so now we're here starting this YouTube channel, and hopefully I can find ways to be entertaining and not so much just listen to me talk about and ramble about things. Our whole goal at LNF is to show people that they are beautiful at their most simplest, and that's why our collection is so simple. You can easily dress it up and make it more flashy if you want to, but it's really about keeping it simple and just knowing that you're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not. Don't let anybody tell you that you have to enhance this and do that so that you can be the world's view of beautiful. You are already beautiful. So that's what our goal is over here. But anyway, I'm gonna listen. It's been a hassle trying to record this, but hopefully I'll be able to post once or twice a week. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to y'all later.